Hi everyone, that intro you just heard was mixed with 6 completely free plugins and one AI tool that generated the foundation in under 60 seconds. And trust me, this one AI tool will blow your mind. But first, we will start with the free VSTs because you need to hear this. If you've been wondering whether free plugins for busy production can actually do the work when it comes to mixing, then you need to watch this video from this point to the very end so that you don't miss a thing and you get to see for yourself whether it can actually give a professional sounding result or not. The first free plugin on today's list is Mid-Boss by Analog Obsession, and the role this particular plugin is playing is to just enhance the mid frequencies, which is where the important information lies in a mix. With this plugin, it helps push those exact frequencies, whereby enhancing and making your entire mix sound clean and clear. Now, if you noticed, I used the CO key type and just a little bit of drive and having the mix knob all the way to wet. So let's A/B it and hear the impact. This is without it. And I believe you can clearly hear how well it is handling that task by pushing out mid frequencies and giving clarity to the entire mix. Now that takes us to the second free plugin that I used on this chain, and that is Stone by Acoustica Audio, which is a custom signal models. And this particular plugin, I used it just to add a little bit of presence to the entire mix. And it is important to switch this button so that you manipulate both the left and right at the same time. But if you want to check out the review I made about this plugin, I'll also be leaving it in the description so that you get to understand it better. Now let's have a listen. I will be turning off the first one just for us to hear it alone. Then I will engage the two so that you hear the impact. This is without it. Alright, if you notice, I added it in a subtle level. I didn't increase it that much, just a little push on that presence, on that high frequency, just to add a little bit of spark or shine to it. And one more thing I forgot to say is this distortion section here, I introduced a little bit of datiness, that crunch, but in a subtle manner. And I was able to do that by dragging it from here to this point, to this section. It's actually the distortion section, but don't worry, by the time you watch the video review, you will get to understand how to use this plugin. Now let's hear the two of them together. And you heard that, and one beautiful thing about these plugins is they are actually adding that analog color individually to the material you are working on. So this already sounds good, but let's be real. And yes, let's be real, the track you've been listening to is actually generated using AI. And I know there are tons of AI music generators out there, but this particular one blew my mind away with some interesting features it came with. So in a situation where you have an instrumentals but you don't know how to sing, it's no longer a problem because you can actually use AI to generate vocals that you can use commercially in your project. Let's quickly take a look at this AI tool. I've been testing this tool called Meloty, and it is basically like an AI vocal assistant for producers, because normally with AI music tools, the lyrics come out kinda generic. You are switching between tabs trying to fix stuff and you end up wasting credits regenerating over and over. But with this particular tool, everything is built into one place. You can choose between different AI models depending on the vibe, like Grok for more raw rap flows, Claude for emotional writing, or Gemini for storytelling. And if something is off, you don't have to start all over again. You can literally tell it, make this more emotional or change the flow, and it updates instantly. And by so, you are not wasting credits redoing everything. It even generates the full style prompts for you automatically, so you don't have to figure out all those tags. You can even upload your own melody or vocal idea and it builds around that and match the vibe. And if you already know exactly what you want, there is a custom mode where you can control everything manually. Meloty also supports music reference, vocal reference, or melody reference. So if you have a melody idea stuck in your head, all you need to do is just to upload it, and Meloty.AI learns your style, your rhythm, your vibe, then crafts a complete release ready track around it. So you see, you bring your idea to life. But here is the part that actually makes this crazy useful. You can download the full stems, so vocals and instrumentals are separated, and just drag them straight into your DAW. So what I'm gonna do now is to take this vocal and drop it into FL Studio and run it through the plugin we just used. And yeah, you also get full ownership with commercial license, so you can actually use this in your own releases. If you want to check it out, I've got a link in the description with discounts on your first payment. Definitely try it out.
Yeah. Hear the rhythm in my soul. Fire burning, watch it glow. We bring the heat tonight. Stepping out the city, lights are shining on my face.
That takes us to the third plugin on this list, which is my go-to plugin as of the moment. I just reviewed it and uploaded it yesterday on this channel, so the link will also be in the description so that you get to understand it better. It is by Acoustica Audio also, and it is called Jet Mix. So this particular plugin, I just call it Magic Mixer. What this plugin is doing is it's controlling the dynamics of the track and at the same time giving depth and shine to your mix without overpowering it or making it sound distorted or harsh. Alright, so if you want to know more, just watch the video. Let me disable all the plugins so that we can hear just the impact from this particular plugin, then I will engage the remaining two. Alright, I believe you heard how subtle the impact is. I didn't really add much. If you watch closely here, you see that I just added a little bit on the subsection and a little bit on the highs. Alright, then to increase the impact, you toggle it using this big knob right here, but I just added a little bit. So let's play everything together now and hear the impact. Alright, sorry about that. In the review I made about this plugin, I talked about it is a little bit CPU intensive, so sorry about that crackle or glitch noise. And that takes us to the next plugin on this list, which is Check by Kern. What I actually use this particular one for is to monitor the whole stereo structure of the signal so that it will translate or convert well on simple devices like your mobile phone or your Bluetooth speakers, just to make sure that when played in mono, nothing disappears and it doesn't sound funny or weird. So this plugin actually is just to make sure it translates well in mono. Alright, so I'll also be leaving the link to the video review in the description so that you get to know more. So we'll not be checking it, it is just to analyze and monitor so as to correct any issues when playing back in mono. And that takes us to the next plugin on this list, which is one of my favorites by Analog Obsession. It is called Layer. This is a compressor and at the same time it's a limiter. So if you are looking for a way to glue your entire mix and at the same time control your dynamics so that everything will sound even, this is the tool for you. So what I actually did here was to engage the reduction knob, which is like the threshold, and compensated the loss dB with the gain knob. And if you noticed, I used the high pass filter section so that it doesn't compress the low end information. All right, so let's have a listen. So that is it for Layer by Analog Obsession. If you paid very close attention, you notice that it's just a very tiny movement, subtle movement that I'm using this for, just to catch those peaks and control them. Nothing much, nothing too heavy. All right, and that takes us to the last plugin on today's list, which is Formant. And this particular one, I will just show you what it does, which is good for creating intros on vocals or creating intro on your entire mix. Let me just show you what I mean. Alright, so what I normally use this particular one for is, let's say I want to introduce a track, and at the beginning there is an intro that requires a voice, introducing it. I can use this on the voice, just to create a build up before the chorus or the verse hits. Alright, so these are 6 amazing and useful free plugins for music production I would recommend for any music producer to start using. To me, I see it as a must-have if you really want to step up your production game. Alright guys, so for the AI music generator tool I used, which is Meloty, a full in-depth video review is coming soon. And there you will see and understand why I'm beginning to choose this particular tool against other available ones. There we'll be talking about different models, how to choose it, which gives different vibes, and I'll also show you now see there is no need for prompt engineering. The platform made it a lot easier for you to craft your song, and I will also be talking about how to refine your generated song via chats. Alright, in this case you don't need to regenerate your songs again. All you need to do is just to type the corrections you want, and by so doing save credits for yourself. We'll also check out stem separation and see the quality, and most importantly I will be showing you the commercial licenses and ownership. In this case, you download the PDF license and keep and save it for yourself for future use, and also you'll be getting it for 20% discount on your first sign up. So guys, the link will be in the description like I said earlier, and for all the plugins we treated today, you will get the video review links in the description as well. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe if you haven't, and most importantly turn on your bell notification for more amazing contents like this. If you want to check out amazing free plugins that I've treated on this channel, the video on the screen is a playlist. Go there, who knows, you might find something very interesting that you need. And I will see you there. As always, stay creative, stay focused, and bye for now.